Hello, and welcome back to Space Engineers. I'm hanging out here in our new crew lounge, just chilling like a villain. As you can see, I got the lighting put in this building all the way up. I got all the furnishings put in. I don't recall if I did this on camera. I know I did the kitchen on camera. Um, and I showed you the infirmary. Let's see. The upper floors here. We've got in each of these rooms one deck, one cryo chamber, and a locker for everybody. Some reason I always forget to put my phone on silent. And then on the third floor, because these rooms are a little bit funky, the two on either end I made into a double room. One bed there and one bed there, two cryo chambers and two lockers. Then there's two middle rooms. This one is the big bath, toilets, lots of showers, lots of sinks, and across this way is actually space for four crew. So the second level has space total for 12, and so does this level actually. So the crew quarters can accommodate a total of 24 crew. And then I started to work already. The sun's coming up, yay! On the command building, not the actual upward structure, but the flooring. And I'll show you what I've got done so far. In either corner on this end, I have a conveyor junction box, and then I left these two spaces here open with a conveyor junction box directly centered at the bottom, and these are where the two nanite factories, control factories, are going to be for the base as their permanent locations. Now you're going to say, oh, how are you going to upgrade those? Well, I'll remove bits of the floor in a pattern around, and basically to make it look like a flat floor, I'll just cover them up with catwalks. And that way they're right at the perfect level. I'll have the screens probably, I'll probably have the screens facing that way, because I'll have some control stations, command stations, etc. over there, and probably some screens. So I may not have any windows in that wall. And then on this side, we'll have the officers' lounge and officers' mess hall. And then the upper floor, the two upper floors will be for officers. So those rooms, you can probably imagine, will be a little bit fancier. Okay, so we just need to get our blocks. Sansion Cityscape here. I've already got the floor in, but I don't necessarily want to remove those because I will need them for the next level. Okay. Alright, so this is pretty much a repeat of the crew building. Up to a point. This side over here will just be normal with windows with a 1 block gap in between. It gives kind of a nice view. Oops. And then around the doorways, like I said, I do believe I'm just going to close this off altogether because I'm going to have some, I want to have screens and command blocks, consoles, and all that other good stuff in there, so that we can monitor different base systems from that room. Basically, this room will monitor the it will be monitoring the inventory of components and ores, etc. And I do apologize if this is just a boring type of thing to watch. Some people enjoy it, and some people don't. I mean, this is kind of one of my favorite parts of building is the just placing blocks. It's somewhat therapeutic in a way. Yet rather what gets stressful is when you're trying to make a building, or specific in this game, it's really more the ships than buildings. Except when you get out into outer space, sometimes you want your buildings to not necessarily look like big squares. Some people are okay with the squares, and really they're functional, but in a way, it's almost like you would want. Some people would be like, no, we need to have our space buildings look more spacey, like any of the shows that are on TV, you know, whether that's and you know which ones we're talking about. I am going to need quite a few construction components here because we have a fairly large building to build. What I want to get done today is basically the shell like we did in the last one, and then get the control tower built. So you can see what I'm thinking with that. It'll be somewhat of an addendum, if you will. Okay, it's trying very hard to make fresh concrete, and I'm trying very hard to get construction components. This is one of the limitations for having the nanites do all the construction for you in the assemblers, is that it does things in its own particular order, and sometimes you need specific items, and either you have to wait for it to get finished doing what it wants to do, or you've got to try to take over the process just a little bit. Okay, that should be enough for our needs at the moment. We can always come back for more. Okay, so there we have that part. And in case you're wondering, the nanite factory will fit in that 2-block tall if, and only if, it is stuck into the floor. Got my bricks lined up wrong. That's always a little bit irritating. I know you're supposed to be able to hit the T button, which is supposed to stop things from rotating, but so far I've not had much success with that. But let's try. Perhaps the last time I tried was because I tried it in a stable version of the game, and sometimes what works in developer version does not always work in stable, because they've not yet taken the feature over to the stable version. But it's working just fine now. That is brilliant. So remember that. If you are playing in the developer version of Space Engineers, then you should be able to stop the automatic rotation by simply pressing T when you've got your block oriented the way you want it. Especially if you're placing multiple blocks, that comes in very handy. Okay, so I ran out of construction components again. Well, this is the perfect time to start the control tower part, which is going to go right in this area. Now, I don't believe I'm going to use those blocks that we've been using. I do believe I'm going to use just a regular light armor block. And yeah, now, this may seem a little extreme, but it really isn't too much, to be honest. 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that's too much. Okay. No. No, I don't mean actually. I don't mean those. I don't want those just yet because this actually is going to be interior. So yeah, basically here we're covering up the one window. We'll have a window there and one there, and that will be 2 blocks tall, and then we'll have that across the roof. Yeah, perfect. So to follow my plan then, I'll take this up 3 more blocks. We got below. And I probably better check my gas soon because I would not want to fall from this height. Oh yeah, I need to go refill my tanks. The oxygen generator is a bit more conveniently located now in this building than it was before. Oh yeah. Okay. I think there we go. 2 full bottles. This way we won't have much to worry about. Okay. Now I am going to go up one more, and this is where we start. Uh, This is pretty simple, really. Nothing too extravagant. Then we'll put a spiral staircase type thing up through the center, up in here to the control center, and then here at this level we'll actually have windows all the way around. We may not put windows. Well, yeah, I will put windows around the back side too, and then just a simple roof. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the control tower. There's no good way of showing you without doing something like this. So the challenge now will be to imagine it all filled in with the metal and the glass and the windows. But yeah, that's the control tower, and that is supposed to take care of all the traffic coming in and out of the spaceport here. Okay, so between now and the next episode, I will continue building on this particular building here. I'll get the structure finished, and in the next episode we'll get those nanite factories placed, and we'll start working on the interiors of these other rooms, the officers' quarters. We won't need nearly as many of those. And some of the key differences that I generally do with officers' quarters over crew quarters is I'll give the officers their own private bathrooms and sometimes a little kitchenette and stuff like that. Just, I mean, doesn't serve any real purpose in the game, but it looks nice. And for me, I like it when things look nice. So yeah, we got a pretty good start here on this building, and of course the nanites are working like crazy to get the concrete. And letting them get caught up is kind of a good idea because that can take some time, especially the concrete, because it's very slow at being assembled. So yeah. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this episode, and be sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.